Hey there, everybody, it's Caitlin, your geeky girlfriend, and I am back. And if you saw my last video, this video is actually part 2 of the last video. So my last video was a pretty big half-price books haul. And then this is going to be a very large half-price books, movies, and Blu-rays haul from my trip to half-price books this weekend. So let's back up a little bit. Over the weekend, my husband and my sister-in-law, or my sister and brother-in-law and I all went to about 6 different half-price books near the Cincinnati and Dayton area. This was just like a little weekend getaway that my husband and I we're both really excited about. We both love half-price books. They are a great place to get movies, video games, books, obviously, textbooks, pretty much any book that you could want, you can probably find it at half-price books, and most of the time, you can get things on the clearance rack, and we have started to switch our movie collection from DVD to Blu-ray as much as we can. This started like around the holiday season, like late October, early November. We just kind of decided, like, we have all these movies, let's upgrade them to Blu-ray. Blu-ray lasts a little bit longer. Almost all movies made after 2002-ish, you can usually find on Blu-ray. Or so we thought. There have been several that we thought we were going to find on Blu-ray pretty easily, and we have not found them yet. And I got some of them this weekend. We were really excited to find them. So that's what it started as. It started as just, because we have a very extensive movie collection. That shelf behind me is all DVDs and Blu-rays, and then in here, the TV stand actually holds all Blu-rays as well. Ignore the rest of the clutter on those, but so that entire shelf behind me is all DVDs, and so is the TV stand right next to me. So we have a very extensive movie and DVD collection. I grew up watching movies. I love movies, big movie buff. Obviously, I like movies. I do reviews here on this channel, but my husband is just very into physical media. So recently we canceled Disney Plus. We no longer have Netflix. We did just get Hulu, but and we have Amazon Prime. So in terms of streaming services, we have some, but not all of them, and we have a satellite for live TV as well. So we just kind of run the gamut on TV and movies. However, we both love to have the movie on the shelf, take it out, put it in the player, and just enjoy a movie with no ads, no breaks in watching, and that is a big perk of having physical media as well, and you get to own it. You know, Disney Plus and Netflix, they take things off all the time. There could be a movie that you really, really like, and then you go to look at it and it's no longer there anymore. So with physical movies, you just own it, and you just always have it. So what we're doing is we're taking some of what we have on DVD and replacing it with Blu-ray, and then that is how the eBay storefront for me started. So if you're new here, I do have an eBay storefront by the same name. I'm Kayla McClure, at your geeky girlfriend, over on YouTube, or not YouTube, eBay. And everything that we replace in our collection, then that's how it's being put up for sale on eBay. So if you go to my eBay storefront, these are all things that we have bought the Blu-ray version of, or we accidentally had a duplicate of, whatever the case may be. So as we get more Blu-rays, we are replacing the DVDs and selling those on eBay. So that is kind of how the eBay storefront got started. And similarly with books, after I read a book, it's going on the eBay storefront, because I don't read books more than once, and then I don't like to have duplicates. So we're upgrading some of our DVDs to Blu-rays, and then giving them to new homes, I guess is how I want to say that. So this was a huge, huge haul. If you want the abridged version, over on my Instagram stories, you can find just a quick run through of all of the movies. But here in the YouTube channel, I wanted to go more into depth about each movie, give you a quick little synopsis in case you haven't seen it. That way you might want to add some movies to your list or want to go out and buy them for yourself. And I'm also going to share what the price I paid for them was, because I just think it's so fun to talk about, look back and talk about how cheap something was or how little I paid for it, and just marvel at some of the things that were on the clearance rack and up for sale there anyway. There were so many things that I was like, I would never get rid of this. So just thinking about all the people who have gotten rid of things blows my mind. So we're gonna jump right in. And before we do that, though, I want to say welcome to my channel, and if you are new here, make sure you hit that red button and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and also you can feel free to drop in the comments what movies you've seen of these, which ones are on your list, whatever. And I'll also, well, we'll just get into it. Okay, so the first one, and I don't ask me like which location because I am terrible with directions, so I won't be able to tell you. So this is just general Half Price Books haul. All of these stores were in the Cincinnati/Dayton area, so Beaver Creek, near Westchester, all of those things. So it's just all Cincinnati, Dayton, Ohio. Don't ask me specific locations because I was just along for the ride, truly. All right, first, I got the Sandlot, $3. This was a clearance find, and we'll just get it right out there in the open. I've actually never watched The Sandlot. It's one of my mom's favorite movies. I just have not seen it yet. So for $3, it's going to be on the watch list now. But also, I've heard really good things about it, and the case and everything is in really good condition, and I love finding older movies like this on the clearance rack. And also our philosophy is, like, if we pay $3 and we watch it once and we don't like it, like, that's cheaper than it would be to rent it on Amazon Prime, or cheaper than getting your Netflix subscription. So you're still, like, in the good. Even if you watch it one time, it's still cheaper than renting. So that one was a good one. All right, next one, Central Intelligence. This is a comedy movie starring Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart. This movie is hilarious. This version actually includes the unrated version, but the theatrical version, which is rated PG-13, is on here as well. And this one was also $3. So neither one of these we already have on DVD. So we're not only replacing movies that we already have on DVD, but we're also just adding to our movie collection, and trying to just, like, really get organized with our physical movies. And in case you're wondering, yes, we do have a spreadsheet going for the Blu-rays, so that way we don't end up buying duplicates, because it's so hard when you go into these stores and you look at all these movies, and I know what I have on DVD, but I can't always remember what I bought or what my husband has bought on Blu-ray. So yes, we do have a spreadsheet. Next, we have Bride Wars. This is a romantic comedy starring Kate Hudson and Anne Hathaway. Best friends getting married at the same time. Should go smoothly, right? Not in this movie. This is a very cute, very charming romantic comedy, and it is one of my favorites. It gets me every time, and this one was only $2. And what we have found out, and this is like a pro shopping tip for any of you who go to Half Price Books on the reg, they do have a bargain DVD section, but also if you just search through their feature film section, they're in alphabetical order. And all of their movies, mostly, the one near us, the one that's closest to our house, they actually have all the Blu-rays separated from the DVDs, which is really nice, but not all of them do that. Most of them, all of the DVDs and the Blu-rays are mixed in together. So if you go to the regular feature film section, and I just literally quickly scan through, and I literally pick out the Blu-rays, if it's a movie that I know I've seen, or that I know I have on DVD that I want to replace, or whatever, I just pull it out, I look at the price, and if it's not in my price point, then I just put it back. But a lot of the time, you'll find things like this. Like, not marked down, not on clearance, just priced at $2. So we'll talk about more that I got like that later, but we've started and it takes a long time. Like, it's a process. You have to, like, really commit to, like, looking through the entire shelf of movies, but you can find some really good stuff on there. So I highly recommend, if you're able to take the time, if you're in and out, if you only have like 10 or 15 minutes, check the bargain section. You'll usually find something, or just go through like one section, not all of them. But if you have the time, seriously look at all of them, because you can find some great stuff. All right, next, Toy Story of Terror. This is a short film collection. There are 3 Halloween short films, all centered around the Toy Story characters. We have all 4 of the Toy Story movies on Blu-ray, so this is just an extra little one to add to the collection. Toy Story is very popular with kids and young people, so, like, as we're thinking about our future and bringing kids into our home and everything like that, it's good to just have a lot of movies that are like this, just short and sweet. This run time of this is only like 22 minutes or something, so it literally is just a nice little cartoon. Pop it in, and it was also $3, which for a Disney movie is great. And then One for the Money. This is this one is more of like an action comedy, or just like a regular comedy. Not a whole lot of romance, but there's like some romantic tension between the 2 characters. This is Katherine Heigl, and this is based on the book series. I think her name is, based on the best-selling books by Jenna Ivanovic. So One for the Money, and there's like a whole series. I think her name is Plum. Like, her last name is Plum, I think. Let's see. Stephanie Plum. Yeah, so it's her. This is the first one. They only made one of the movies, and there are several books. Okay, so we're doing these in small sections because of how I'm, like, uploading them. So let's get into our next group. So the next group, like I said, I have them broken into like small segments, so that way when I upload this to Instagram stories, it's like nothing gets cut off or anything. So we're doing like 5 or 6 at a time in each little segment. The next one is Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. This one for some reason was $4, and now looking back, I probably would not have got this. I wouldn't have paid $4 for this because it was on the clearance rack. So normally we only buy things on clearance if they're like $2 or $3. So this one was actually priced a little bit higher, and I didn't notice until now. So realistically, I would not have bought this one. However, I do have it on DVD, so we're going to replace it. This is a cute little animated movie based on the children's book, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and there is a sequel. This one was one that I found in the regular movie section. The original Disney classic Beauty and the Beast, $4.99 for a really high quality Blu-ray. The case is in good condition, and this is the 25th anniversary edition, and that was a really good find. But again, found it in the regular section, not on clearance. Similarly, The Heat, which is a comedy with Melissa McCarthy and Sandra Bullock. This is my favorite comedy movie of all time. It is hilarious. And, well, yeah, we'll say that. $3.99. Found it in the regular movie section. It's in good condition, not like boogered up or anything. Sometimes you find them with like sticky stuff or, gross things on the case. This one's in really good condition. And again, not on the clearance rack, just on the regular movie shelf, $3.99. For a movie that I love. All right. Then we got Tom Cruise and, what is her name? Cameron Diaz in Night and Day. This is a action romance comedy. Like, there's romance between the two of them, but it's more of an action movie. It's typical Tom Cruise with, jumping out of planes and that sort of thing. So imagine Mission Impossible meets like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days sort of a thing. Because she kind of is trying to get away from him the whole time. So it's cute. It's charming. $4.99, again, on the regular movie shelves. Typically, when they're on clearance, we like to pay $2 to $3. If they're on the regular movie shelf and they're used, our price point is usually $5. Like, we like to get them $5 or less, with the exception of very special movies, which there were some that were in that category of like, okay, we're going to get this because we don't see this on Blu-ray very often. But otherwise, if they're new in the shrink wrap, my limit is $10. Like, I'll pay $10 for something that's new, never been opened, $10 or less. But if it's been opened, I'm very hesitant to pay more than $5 because you just never know. I do check all of the DVDs. Like, Half Price Books does typically have the movies in there so you can open them up, you can look at the discs, whatever. And I always check them just to make sure, but you just never know. So, you take risks buying used media, obviously. So just shop smart and don't be afraid to, like, not get something because of the quality of the disc or the case or whatever. We got Taken 2, $4.99 on the regular movie shelf. So again, fell in that price point. And we have the first Taken, so we were just trying to get the second one. And yes, we know there are 3 of them, but we need to handle the first 2 first. And then this one we got on clearance, The Wolf of Wall Street. This is obviously starring Leonardo DiCaprio. This is a very interesting movie. I actually don't like this movie, but with my husband being in economics, he, like, ironically liked it. Like, he didn't like it, but he liked it at the same time. It's a very strange movie. Lots of language, lots of, like, drug and alcohol use and references. So if you haven't seen it, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. And yeah, so we're gonna pause for a second, and then we'll come back with another cluster. All right, moving right along, we've got Dolphin Tale, $3 on the clearance rack. It did come with the slipcover, which is super nice, and these are super, super heartwarming tale. I love a good, like, animal restoration tale, and if you have not seen these ones are great. There is a big storyline about conservation and safety to marine animals and marine life, but the aquarium that these take place is like an actual aquarium, I believe in Florida, and it's on my bucket list to go see it one day, and it is based on a true story, which we love that. And I actually already have the second one in my collection, so now I was able to get the first one, and I got both of them on clearance, which makes it even better. Next, this one was an interesting find. This is the original Wizard of Oz. This is the 70th anniversary edition. It has been completely remastered, and on a high-resolution TV, these movies, like these older movies that have been remastered, look amazing. They just look stunning. And for $5.99, I was like, this is a classic film, like a true classic film. And it's just one that I feel like everybody should watch and see. If you are an older Disney adult like me, this one was in the Great Movie Ride, and so it's a little bit of an homage to that as well. And I'll always like remember that scene from the Great Movie Ride. But for $5.99, I felt like that was a good price for that one. And that was one that I hadn't seen. Like I did see like 2 copies total of The Wizard of Oz on Blu-ray throughout all of our stops yesterday. So again, one that's a little bit harder to find. This one was a very nice clearance find. This is Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. I believe this is the 5th one in the series. So I already own number 4, and then this is number 5. This one's a pretty good one. Typical Tom Cruise. You know, falling off of planes, jumping off trains, the whole 9 yards. So if you like Tom Cruise's action movies, then the newer Mission Impossibles are pretty good. I actually have not watched the original Mission Impossibles, but they are on the list. So once I do, they will be added here, and I will review them for you all. I might have a review of Rogue Nation on here, actually, because it is a little bit of a newer one. All right, then we got Mamma Mia, the movie. I have this on DVD already, so this one is just replacing the old one. The musical brought to life on the movie screen, and I did just see the musical last weekend, and they have, since the musical has come back, they did add a few touches from the movie on stage, so they're kind of dabbling back and forth, but I've been looking for this one because I have the second one already on Blu-ray, so now I have this whole series of movies as well. Amanda Seyfried is great in the movie, and Meryl Streep is in the movie, Pierce Brosnan, lots of star power in a musical based on, or a movie based on a musical, and the musical is just absolutely great. Then, this one was a good find. Again, one of Disney's classics, the original Dumbo, not the Tim Burton live action one that was garbage. It wasn't garbage, it was just not great. But this is the original Dumbo, and again, like, as a Disney Parks fan, you just have, everybody, if you're a Disney adult, you just have a little bit of love inside of your heart for Dumbo. It was $6.99. This was a little bit outside of the price range that we would normally pay. However, I don't normally see the original Dumbo on Blu-ray, and if I do, it is a little bit more expensive than this, and this is the 70th anniversary edition, so there's, like, some cool special features and stuff, so I was pretty happy with that. And then we got Black Panther with the slipcover, $3 on clearance. A great find. I love this movie. I have not seen the second one, so no, don't ask. But it is on my list. And the Marvel movies are kind of like the Disney ones because they were all on Disney Plus. That was how we watched them originally. But given that we are kind of sort of stocking up for future children, the Marvel movies, and to be able to watch them in chronological order, is just something that I think would be fun to do as a family. So we are kind of starting to stock up the Marvels, but they are consistently more expensive than Disney movies, but there are always way more of them. Like, if you go to any discount movie store, you will find like 7 copies of Captain America's, 12 copies of the Avengers. Like, these movies are like mass produced, and therefore they're readily available, but not always for a great price. So don't settle, because you'll most likely find them on the clearance rack. All right, now let's look at our next stack before we pause again. Okay, this one is She's Out of My League. This is one of my husband's favorite movies. It's like a weird, like, boys comedy, and I've seen it. It's okay. You can see that, like, it does have some pretty, like people that are well known in it now were in this movie, but it was $7.49. However, like, I would have never paid this price. However, we hardly ever see this on DVD, let alone on Blu-ray. And so when I saw it there on the shelf, I just pulled it and I was like, here you go, we're getting this, because you were just talking about wanting to get this movie on DVD. So we did pay a little bit more for this one, just for that reason, that we don't see it on DVD a lot. And it's one that we do not own on DVD at all. And it's hard to find on streaming because it's a little bit older of a movie. The next two are two that I'm like, I was shocked to find on the clearance rack, but I'm so happy that I did. We got Peter Pan, classic Disney, and this is like the DVD, Blu-ray, Diamond Edition combo pack with the slipcover, $5 for the original. I think the slipcover is really pretty. It does have that like holographic quality on it, and the case underneath is also in really good quality. And with that, similarly, I got Disney's Robin Hood. Also, the 40th anniversary edition, DVD Blu-ray combo pack, $3. Like, these were I was like, yes, we're getting these. Like, no question, hands down, like, you are coming home with me, because it was just, I was like, oh my gosh. So, if you're keeping note, we have gotten Dumbo, Peter Pan, Robin Hood, and Beauty and the Beast all in this haul so far, in terms of classic Disney animated movies, and we're just getting started. Hitch. This is the romantic comedy with Will Smith and Kevin James. Hilarious if you haven't seen it. It is so funny. Hitch plays like a matchmaker and he helps guys like with their charisma and their suave. It is so good. We have this on DVD. This is replacing it, and this was the only copy of this movie I saw on Blu-ray all weekend. So I paid a little bit more than I would. It was $5.99 because I didn't see a lot of it. And then lastly, this one was another clearance find. This is Letters to Juliet. This follows Amanda Seyfried, and she goes to Rome and like tracks down the writer of these Juliet letters. It has a little bit of history, a little bit of fun Italian culture and travel stuff in it, and it also has a lot of romance. And it's just lighthearted and charming, and it is a super fun little movie. All right, let's take a pause, and we'll come back with more in just a second. Alrighty. Next stack here, and when I say we're not even halfway through, I'm not exaggerating. But another classic Disney film. I have it, like, it is a goal of mine to own all of the Disney Princess, like the whole Disney Princess collection. So this is another one. Snow White is by no means my favorite. However, it is a Disney classic. It's the one that started it all, literally. So the older I get, I do have a much deeper appreciation for this movie. And to get it for $3 is icing on the cake. Next up, this is one of my favorite movies, and it's so underrated. It's Slumdog Millionaire. I have this one on DVD. This one's just replacing it. This is all set in India, and this like teenage boy goes on their version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and it is like this crazy story of like what he's going to do with the money and how he got there. It is just, I can't even really describe this movie to you, but if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. I want to say it won some awards. I don't know what, and I don't remember how many, but it definitely won some awards. So I was really stoked to find this one for $3. Suicide Squad Extended Cut. So again, we got some additional features on this one. I've actually never watched this movie. My husband has. It has a killer soundtrack. I know that, but I'm kind of intrigued. And again, like just like stocking up on the superhero movies and like the traditional like princess movies and stuff super cheap is something we're into. So $3 for the Suicide Squad. Again, I've never seen it, so once I watch it, I'll make sure to do a review for you guys. This one, High School Musical 3 Senior Year Deluxe Extended Edition. Well, we got like 3 discs of stuff in here, and $5.99 for 3 discs of content. And for the best High School Musical movie, it's the best. Yes, 100% yes. White House Down. This one we almost did not get. It's a little bit outside the price range for something used. It does have the slipcover, but it was $5.50, and we usually like to go $5 or less. So this one, Lucas has actually never seen it, but I think he'll enjoy it. So that was what made us make the decision. In the movie, Jamie Foxx plays the president, and Channing Tatum plays his lead Secret Service agent, and the White House comes under attack, and you can deduce the rest for yourself. And then The Karate Kid. Again, this is a classic movie. And to see it on Blu-ray, I only saw a handful of these in all of the stores that we were in, and it was $5.50. Again, like to watch classic movies and see them remastered, they look amazing on newer TVs. And Lucas has also never seen this movie, and I just feel like we're in this weird like 80s, early 90s movie era right now. And so I was like, yeah, we're just gonna get it, and then you can add it to your watch list. $5.50, and like I said, the prices weren't any cheaper than that, and I didn't see it for anything less. Excuse me. Another like little classic kids movie that is so underrated. This is The Secret of Nim. This is based on Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim, which is an amazing book that I read as a kid when I was in like 4th or 5th grade. So this is the animated version of that in a movie. So just a nice little animated kids movie. It does have some darkness, not gonna lie. But $3 for that one. $3 for Joy, Jennifer Lawrence, Robert De Niro, and Bradley Cooper. I feel like I've seen this movie, but I don't remember anything remarkable about it. But again, for $3, we said even if we watch it once, that's cheaper than renting. So, okay, the Angry Birds movie. This one is another one that you can see was not necessarily marked down. I just saw it on the regular movie section, like the kids movie section, and it was $3. This is a super charming little movie. If you have not seen it, it's done by Sony, and they are Sony has I think they were the ones who did the Sonic movie, perhaps. Don't quote me, but this is super funny. And I played Angry Birds when it first came out. It's so charming. There's a stellar voice cast. It's just really, really funny to kind of see the idea of this little mobile game get its own movie, but it is cute. I really, really like it. For $3, again, you can't beat it. $3.99, World War Z with Brad Pitt. Again, I've never seen this movie. However, I hear they're making a new one, and this is in great condition, and the disc looks great, so we just went ahead and got that one. This one is brand new, still in the shrink wrap, $3.49, and Mel Gibson's The Patriot. Again, another like pretty classic, quintessential movie that has lots of critical acclaim. This is the extended cut, and it is just like, I love to get movies like this that have never been opened. These are like killer steals. Home on the Range might not be Disney's best movie, however, for $3, again, a cute kids movie, nice one just to have in the collection. It has a decent soundtrack from what I recall, like just some silly little songs, and it's just kind of a funny, kind of a Madagascar type vibe. Like the animals end up away from, or they like venture off of the farm and have to come back. So it's just got kind of one of those like silly adventure storylines. But like I said, not necessarily Disney's best, but for $3. Might as well add it to the collection because it is considered like a classic Disney animated movie because of the style of animation. And then the last one in this little set before we pause and get our other stacks out is 10 Things I Hate About You. This is considered a classic film due to Heath Ledger's passing, and it was $6.99. But again, I only saw one copy of this yesterday, so I'm glad I picked it up. It is on Blu-ray, and this is just going to replace the DVD that we already have. So like I said, we are not even halfway through. But we have to keep going. We're going to do another short stack, and then we will pause. Here we go. I appreciate y'all hanging in here with me. Like I said, if you have not seen these movies, this is a great way to kind of get an idea if you want to keep your eye out for them, and an idea of like how much you can get them for. This one is The Night at the Museum. This is the original. This one is also brand new. This is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack, and I got it for $4.99. Brand new, like literally still in the shrink wrap and everything. And what was ironic was we had seen several copies of Night at the Museum 2, which, spoilers, is in this stack. And I was telling Lucas, I was like, I can't find the first one anywhere. Like, I don't really want to get the second one until we have the first one because the first one's better. And then literally at like the next store saw this bad boy hanging out in the clearance section. So like, don't give up, don't settle, keep your eyes peeled and you'll find it. House Bunny, classic movie, so funny. Anna Faris is hilarious, and this one was $4.99. Again, I got this one just because I don't see this one on Blu-ray very often. This is one of those like older movies, mid 2000s era, and it's just one that you don't see on Blu-ray very often. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and get it. This is one of my absolute favorite suspense thriller movies. This is The Call with Halle Berry and Anna Sophia Robb, and it is so intense. One time my girlfriends and I watched this, and we were all sitting on the same couch by the end of it. Essentially, Halle Berry is a 911 operator, and this movie follows one of her calls, and it is a phenomenal movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. Neighbors with the slipcover, $4.99. I got this one simply to replace the DVD because we have this one on DVD. It's a comedy. Seth Rogen, Zac Efron. Zac Efron's a frat boy. Seth Rogen has a new family, and they become neighbors. That's essentially the premise. It's kind of raunchy, but it does have some funny parts. This one, Bedknobs and Broomsticks. This was a staple of my childhood. Angela Lansbury. I was like singing the soundtrack all last night. This is such a charming film, all about magic and believing. And it was $3 on clearance. I had to get it. Book of Eli is one of my husband's favorite movies. Denzel Washington. Again, this is a movie that he was like, oh, if we find this one on Blu-ray, I'd love to have it. So I found it and we snagged it. $5.49 is a great price though with the slipcover. And this is another movie that I only saw. This, I think, was the only copy of this that I saw on Blu-ray. Maybe one more at the same store, but otherwise you don't see this one very often either. And then This one is not a Blu-ray. However, my brother was just in this play, Death Trap, and so we bought the movie to give it a watch. And we figure even if we watch it one time, again, it's cheaper than renting it, easier than trying to track it down on a streaming service or something. And then worst case scenario, we can just gift it to him or something as the memory from the play. Essentially, the premise is a young playwright and a like middle-aged playwright end up talking over / scheming over the same play, and like it's kind of like Inception in that it's happening as they're trying to write it, like they're acting it out, but really there's more to it than that. All right, so we're gonna pause, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we will be back with more stacks. So let's see what we have next. Alrighty, let's keep going. We still have a lot more to go, guys, but thank you all for hanging in there. This was like, there are so many cool things, so I have to share them with all of them with you. All right, got The Art of Racing in the Rain. If you haven't seen this movie, this is a great movie if you love cars, if you love golden retrievers, if you love dogs, if you love life. It's just a great feel-good movie. It is very sad. I did cry, but it was only $4.99, and it's just very good. All right, Zero Dark 30. I've heard nothing but good things about this movie. My husband and I both want to watch it. I got it for $3, and it was an Academy Award-winning picture. I believe it follows the story of the Special Forces that took down Osama bin Laden. So, as somebody who, like, weirdly is obsessed with 9/11, I think I will love that movie, and so we were like, yes, we're gonna get it. All right, another classic Disney one, The 101 Dalmatians with the slipcover, $3. This is the Diamond Edition. I have several of these like Diamond Edition movies with these like whitish gray covers, and so that's another one. Captain Underpants. This is such a cute movie. If you haven't seen it, it's hilarious. Kevin Hart is in it, and it is like it just matches the books so well. If you ever read the books or knew about the books, it's so funny, so funny. Then we got Top Gun, the original, shrink wrapped, brand new, $6.99. This is obvious. I actually just did a review of Top Gun on my channel not too long ago, so scroll back down. Right before I saw Maverick, I watched the original for the first time. Forgetting Sarah Marshall. This is a comedy. Jason Sudeikis is in it. Russell Brand is in it. And I want to say Mila Kunis, but I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure Mila Kunis is in it too. Just a funny, like, kind of romance, but mostly just, like, raunchy comedy. It's just a silly movie. $3 for that one. Lucas loves these red cases. These are the HD DVDs. He, like, is trying to find as many of these as he can, but this is Casino. Never seen it, but he got it for $3. This one, this is brand new, still in the shrink wrap, Nightmare Before Christmas. I actually did not own this movie, and this one comes with a sing-along edition built in, so I was super excited about that. This is one of my all-time favorite movies. This is Fireproof. This is a really great marriage movie. It's a great Christian movie, and this company, like the Kirk Cameron, he like directed a lot of other movies that are kind of along this same, like, kind of within the same universe because the characters kind of overlap and you see the same cast in all of them. Flywheel, War Room, Courageous, all of these are kind of done by the same studio, but this one by far is the best. Highly recommend. We have it on DVD. We're just replacing our DVD. Rock of Ages, the musical movie. So many celebrities are in this movie. Like, this is a star-studded film. The soundtrack is great. That one was $5.99. It is the extended cut version. But yeah, and that was a good condition case and everything. I just love the soundtrack, and I just love musical movies. Excuse me. Paddington, a great little, a great kids movie. Some people think Paddington is creepy. I think that he's cute, and the movie is very charming, and really resembles the book. The Age of Adeline. This is kind of the Curious Case of Benjamin Button, but like about a female. So Blake Lively plays Adeline, and it's a pretty interesting movie. This is called The Mechanic, and I've actually never seen this movie, but it's Jason Statham, and my husband was like really excited about this one, so that one was one that he got. And then we got Pete's Dragon, the live action one, for $3 with the slipcover. And this is another one that I've never seen. I used to watch the animated one when I was younger. Like, I watched the animated one once or twice when I was younger, and I like used to listen to some of the music from the soundtrack of it, but it's like the dragon looks pretty good, but obviously it's CGI. So it's one of the newer live action ones, but for $3, we were like, eh. All right, next on the musical movie Wavelength, we have Into the Woods. This is the Disney rendition of the Broadway musical, and it does hold a little bit of piece of sentimentality because I was in the musical last year. The movie is honestly not great, but it's not bad either. Like, it's just very solid, like in the middle. We got National Treasure. Don't ask me why this case is like this. We don't even really know, but these are great movies. If you have not seen this series, I highly, highly recommend. We were able to find this one and the second one, which I'll show you guys. But these are like great for history buffs. They are like funny and they're suspenseful, a little bit of action. So these are just great movies. Nicolas Cage is great. We absolutely love them. Then the next one I was really excited to find. This was the only copy of Mulan that I was able to find on Blu Ray. So I was really excited about that. And this is Mulan and Mulan 2 for $10. That makes them $5 a piece. And I'm trying to, like I said, build up that Disney Princess collection. And now we're only missing like 3. Battleship, this is like $3 everywhere. We saw this in so many stores on the clearance rack. So if you really like this movie, go to your nearest Half Price Books and snatch it up because you will probably find it on the clearance rack. I was so excited to find this one, you guys. This is Megamind, probably my favorite animated movie. I can't say favorite because Aladdin is still my favorite, but this is easily in the top 3 animated movies for me. This movie is absolutely hilarious, has a killer voice cast. Apparently they're making a second one, which I've heard not good things about. Don't mess with something that's really good. I did pay $6.99 for this, but that was one that I wanted to find so bad. Step Up with Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan. This is where he got his start. If you have not seen this movie, this is a great movie. It kind of has like that cringy dance movie from the early mid 2000s, but it's also really good. And if you've seen Magic Mike, Channing can dance. Okay, so you're gonna want to watch it. Mr. Popper's Penguins is Jim Carrey. This is also based on a book, and I would love to do a book study of this in a classroom. I think that would be so fun. The book is for young readers, like 3rd or 4th graders, and then you could watch the movie, and it's just so funny to see the book brought to life, and Jim Carrey, as always, is great. Olaf's Frozen Adventure. This one is also brand new in the shrink wrap. Found it on clearance. A great holiday movie, and especially if you love Frozen, it is so good. All right, then we got The Night of the Museum 2. This is the Battle for the Smithsonian. This one is not as good as the first one, but it still holds its own, and it is cool to go to the Smithsonian. And which I did go to the Smithsonian when I went to New York, and to try and find all of the things in the movie is super fun. And to go to the one in Washington D.C. too. So that's super something fun that you can do with that movie. All right, now I was talking a little bit ago about these Marvel movies and how you need to hold out because you can find some good ones on clearance. Iron Man 3 with the slipcover. We've got Doctor Strange, which this one was $10, $12, $15 everywhere, and then I found it on clearance at one of the stores. So yeah, so we got those 2 to add to the superhero collection. Passengers with Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt, which he has done a lot of movies that I didn't even realize he's done. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I actually feel like I read this book as a kid, and this is by Guillermo del Toro, and my husband was like, let's get this and see if it's really scary. It's rated PG-13, so I doubt it's that bad. My husband picked this one out. This is Atlas Shrugged. It was $3.99. I've never seen it. Don't really know. I know it was a book. So another book to movie thing that you can do. Fast and Furious number 4. We're slowly replacing the DVDs of those. This one was another one that was a great find. Princess Diaries 1 and 2 for $7.99. And it's the 10th anniversary edition, and I love that they're both together. I absolutely love both of these movies, but the first one, I lived on the first one in middle school, so I absolutely love it, and my husband said he's never seen them. Can you believe that? This is National Treasure 2, just as good as the first one. We were just talking about it. This one is another one that I was so shocked. I was so happy to get, so shocked that I got it for $3. Dallas Buyers Club, Matthew McConaughey and Jared Leto both won Oscars for this film. It has to do with the AIDS epidemic. It has to do with the transmission of AIDS. So, so good. If you love anything about like underground economy crime movies, if you love Matthew McConaughey, if you love Jared Leto, this is a must-see film, Dallas Buyers Club. And I actually found this at 2 stores on clearance. So that was a little bit disappointing. But I didn't see it on the regular shelf. So keep that in mind. We got Air Force One. I saw this one a couple of places too. Harrison Ford. It sounds really interesting. I've never seen it, so I need to watch that one and do a review. Similarly, Law Abiding Citizen. It was $3. Jamie Foxx and Gerard Butler. And we just have like one more stack. So we're making our. This is a long video, and I apologize, but I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And we only have this stack left, and yeah. Okay, To Save a Life. This is a Christian movie, so I'm not gonna like preach too much about it. It is a very well done film, however, so I do recommend watching it. But it was $3.99, and this is another one like we would have never guessed to find this movie on Blu-ray because it's like such an same with Fireproof. Like all of those movies we would have never guessed would have like been produced to Blu-ray. So we got this one just because it was like, oh wow. Alvin and the Chipmunks. The only one we're missing of this is the Chipwrecked one. We have all of the rest of them. And these are so fun. These guys are iconic and cross generations. The Book of Life. I have raved about this movie on this channel. I reviewed it in my like 2023 movie reviews. So good. If you like Coco, people were like, oh, it's very similar to Coco. It is in the fact that it's about the Day of the Dead and like the Mexican culture and the Mexican beliefs around the Day of the Dead and the underworld and all of that. But it is not the same at all. Like there's a completely different storyline. It also has a very stunning voice cast and the animation is so cool and fun. It was brand new. I got it for $7.49. I was like, I absolutely have to have this movie. I watch this movie every year on November 1st. Similar, like I watch it and Coco together and I enjoyed both of them. Then we got Prep and Landing Naughty and Nice. This was a double feature movie and it was only $3.50. Again, just a really nice kids holiday movie. You never know like if you're going to be babysitting or whatever. Just something fun to have for the little ones. And then The Bodyguard. My husband is currently obsessed with this movie. Kevin Costner, Whitney Houston, and he just bought this on DVD. And I was like, here you go. We're going to replace it with the Blu-ray. I only found one of these yesterday, so I'm glad that I scooped it up. We did pay $5.99 for it, but that's a great price, honestly. It's in great condition, and it is a stunning movie. The Croods, another one that I'm just replacing. This is another just funny animated movie. If you haven't seen this one, this is DreamWorks. The premise is it's like a caveman family and Nicolas Cage plays the dad. Emma Stone is in it. Ryan Reynolds is in it. And they like discover the world pretty much. It's just so funny to think about like cavemen. And then we got the Diamond edition of Lady and the Tramp. So here's another one that's like the Diamond. So now I have Snow White, 101 Dalmatians, and Lady and the Tramp all in this like Diamond edition with these like clear white covers. And this is the classic DVD plus the Blu-ray, and it was $5.99. So great steal there. Also Blu-ray DVD Up. This one I got for $5.49, and honestly, I look it up almost every time I go to Half Price Books, and the prices are like $8.99, $9.99, $10, $12, $49, whatever. So this one was a great price, $5.49, and it came with the slipcover. Love, love, love. American Hustle. This was a Best Picture award winner at the Oscars several years ago. I don't remember exactly when it came out, but this also has a stunning cast. Jennifer Lawrence, Jeremy Renner, Amy Adams, Bradley Cooper, and Christian Bale. So this is, again, another one of those like kind of mafia 1920s. It kind of has those vibes, kind of Great Gatsby vibes, but also like crime and justice and that. Lots of different characters, lots of different storylines going on. So check it out. It's pretty good. Elf. Got it for $3. This is the cheapest I've ever seen this movie ever. And I was like, I'm not even a huge Elf fan, but I know it's very good to watch at Christmas time. And I don't love Christmas, but I love Christmas movies, if that makes sense. So went ahead and picked that one up. The Lincoln Lawyer. This is a great Matthew McConaughey movie. And if you like A Time to Kill with him and Sandra Bullock, then you will really, really like this one also. This is like that one, but newer. And it is just like, he's a defense attorney and he's just so good at playing a lawyer. And then the last one is Ryan Gosling's Drive, $6.99. This was great condition. And also, I've actually never watched this movie, but my husband was just like looking at a trailer for this movie the other day, and he's like, oh, we need to try and find this one on Blu-ray too. And we did. So we got so many that were on our list, so many that we can replace off the shelf. And like I was saying at the beginning of the video, anything that I mentioned in this video that is a duplicate, like that we already have on DVD, you can find the DVD for sale in my eBay storefront. So if any of these movies that I was like, oh, we have this on DVD, we're just replacing, make sure you go to my eBay storefront. I'm actually going to put the link to my eBay storefront in the description of this video, so you can go over there and check out all of the movies and DVDs that I have. I do have some Blu-rays for sale as well. So make sure you go, and books that I've reviewed here on the channel. Board games are going to be added soon. So make sure you go and check all that out. This was so much fun. I'm so excited about all of our new movies, and I'm going to put them all on the shelf and get them all organized and make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. But I appreciate you guys watching this video. Make sure you comment below which one you were like most stoked to see and like can't believe that I got. If there's any that you want to add to your watch list, make sure you do that. And stay tuned for the second Blind Date with a Book unboxing. And also keep it here for movie reviews and book reviews throughout the year. And what a great start to spring break. And if you're watching this video, make sure you go and check out my books haul from this weekend as well, because I did a separate video of all of the books that I was able to snag off the clearance rack as well. So such a fun video. Thank you all so much for hanging out and watching this semi-long video. This is probably one of my longer videos, but so much to show you guys, so much to be excited about. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.